Alright, greetings all. Yet another one of these videos regarding Coppa and me adjusting my channel in regards to it. So, I'll note that basically last month, when Coppa was basically coming out, I had decided that I was going to basically set my channel to be child friendly because that's what I figured, I had to do with the policies. But recently, I've been looking over YouTube videos trying to decide what I have to basically do if I need to specify that all my videos are basically child friendly or not. And well, YouTube's basically been busy, trying to clarify their policies. There's been a bunch of lawyers basically saying this is what Coppa requires you to do as like a video creator and stuff like that. And well, for the most part, here's what's basically gonna be happening for my channel from this point on. So I've decided that after watching a few videos online, I'm going to basically set my channel to be not made for kids because my videos are basically for a general audience, which basically means that they're not really intended to be directed at kids. They're basically directed at people who are not kids. And as a result of that, I really don't need to have my settings basically being made for kids here because they're not made for kids. So that's the first thing that's going to happen to my channel. This basically means that I'm not going to worry about personalized ads being taken away, notifications, channel memberships, and stuff like this being removed from my channel. And for the most part, nothing's really going to change the result of this basically. So just leave it right there. Be done with it. Basically, my channel's just going to remain basically as it was. I'll note that the first video that you probably, if you're a creator like me, you want to look after. There was a video basically. Well, I guess it's no longer in the news here, but there was a video that's basically put up on YouTube called Coppa on YouTube, answering your top questions. And one of those questions that was basically answered was what if I basically target a general audience, or what does mixed audience versus general mean, stuff like that. Basically, they answer a bunch of useful questions that basically I want to have answered before I could decide what to do. And I'll note that this is the video right here that basically decide for me that I could basically change my channel to be not made for kids, safely doing so and such. I'll note, by the way, that this wasn't the first video that sort of hinted to me that I may be able to change it back to just being not made for kids. The first video that I actually got heads up on was actually from this guy. You're wrong about Coppa, real law review by Legal Eagle. I don't really have this video up on the screen here because I'll note there's been a bunch of other YouTubers who basically are is Legal wrong? Is he wrong? Basically he got a couple things wrong in the his video, and a bunch of other YouTubers basically jumped on that. So I'm basically sort of holding off and saying you should watch this video. But if you do, I'll just say you should watch other videos basically countering his video just to sort of see where he got wrong. I think where he was actually wrong was basically about his portrayal of mixed audiences. Basically, if you're targeting mixed audiences in YouTube for videos, that is still going to be targeted at kids. So that's something that is made for kids. But if it's just a general audience, that's fine. So if you're just targeting a general audience, say I am, you're not targeting kids. I'll note that another video I basically watched was basically called YouTube's Made for Kids Should Not Be Read as Family Friendly on Targeting Coppa and FTC by Hog Law. So Hog Law is basically, I believe he's also one of the guys who counters Legal Eagle. If I go to his thing here, so we'll just go to his videos, and I believe that he's actually one of the guys that watched basically regarding what he basically felt Legal Eagle got wrong. And he also put up his own video basically about Coppa and gave some insight about his legal expertise basically on the subject. So I'll note that these are basically apparently lawyers. So that's basically why I'm jumping into these videos because they might have some insight on basically what to do. Now that's basically the first thing to know. Basically from this point on, I'm not going to worry about the Coppa stuff because well, it's not really a big issue for me now because I'm pretty sure if YouTube's saying that it's for general audience is fine, it's not made for kids, I can basically switch it back. Now there's another thing to note about my videos. I basically have a few series like Duke Nukem Forever, BioShock 1, Dishonored, which are basically all set to be out related because they have simulated violence or real not really it's scripted in violence and stuff like that, not really real world violence. And YouTube also released another policy regarding that. Basically, they have decided that, you know, there is a difference between gaming violence or like simulated violence or like, you know, scripted violence as opposed to real world violence. And they've decided that, like, you know, for videos like, you know, gaming, which, like, you know, doesn't really have real violence, it doesn't have to be treated the same as, like, you know, real world violence videos and stuff like that. So they've actually decided, basically, YouTube, that if you have that sort of thing, like, you know, say Dishonored or Duke Nukem Forever, like I do, it's fine if you want to, like, you know, just treat it like, you know, it's like, you know, less than 18. It's not age restricted or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that, basically. So you'll probably see me in the near future, like, you know, declassify my Duke Nukem Forever videos, Bioshock videos, Dishonored videos. They'll basically be, like, you know, for general audience again, because that's basically what they were for. In the future, for example, if I say, like, do Diablo, that'll also be probably for general audience, because guess what? Even though, like, Diablo has, like, you know, bodies impaled on spears and, you know, other, like, hellish things happening, it is basically a simulated game. It's scripted. So that's fine. Not really sure how the succubus are basically half naked, but, you know, there's that, and oh well. Alright, so that's just like a quick update to, like, let you know what I was basically doing for my channel. And, well, don't worry about, you know, this channel changing, I guess, the result, like, if, you know, how things have basically gone on. I'm DFuxa. See you next year.